Welcome to my YouTube channel Shankhnaad. Almost 2 to 3 months back, I spoke about a wrong portrayal of defense forces by a Bollywood movie named Gunjan Saxena, the Kargil girl. And so I thought that Bollywood now will not like to repeat the same mistakes once again. However, lure of money makes people do very funny things. So a new movie which is yet not released, AK versus AK, has created another controversy and we are going to speak about it today. In India, serving for defense forces is not compulsory. It is voluntary. Love for the nation, patriotism, liking for the value systems of the defense forces and attraction towards the uniform are few reasons for youths to join the defense forces. Not a single, or if at all one odd, words of politicians and film personalities join the defense forces, and the reasons are well known to all of us. However, the film fraternity has got an easier option out. They like portraying the defense officers as an actor to make some easy money by selling the defense forces. For lure of money, use of uniform in a wrong manner is thus very common. Even the dignity of the volunteer force I just talked about is not spared. For incorrect depiction on screen, they always hide behind creative freedom. It almost can be said to be appropriation of the defense forces. After Gunjan Saxena, the Kargil girl controversy just got over, a trailer of movie AK versus AK has again created a controversy. IF has taken to the Twitter to show their displeasure over the recently released promotional clip of Anil Kapoor and Anurag Kashyap starrer AK versus AK. In this clip, the Air Force says that Anil Kapoor is seen donning the Indian Air Force uniform inappropriately. It's like almost a casual wear he is putting it on. If wearing of uniform like this was not enough, he is also shown using unparliamentary language when in uniform. IF has clearly asked the makers to withdraw the related scenes in the film, not to show Anil Kapoor in uniform in those scenes. Anil Kapoor, as usual, has apologized. Let's see the video, what he has to say.
It has come to my attention that the trailer of my new film, AK vs. AK, has offended some people, as I'm wearing the Indian Air Force uniform while using unparliamentary language. I would like to sincerely offer my humble apologies for unintentionally hurting anyone's sentiments. I just like to supply some context to hopefully help you understand how things came to be this way. My character in the film is in uniform because he's an actor playing the role of an officer when he finds out that his daughter has been kidnapped. The anger and rage he experiences and portrays is that of an emotionally distraught father. It was only in the interest of remaining true to the story that my character is still wearing the uniform on his quest to find his missing daughter. It was never my intent or the intent of the filmmakers to disrespect the Indian Air Force. I've always had the utmost respect and gratitude for the selfless service of all our defense personnel. And so, I truly apologize for unintentionally hurting anyone's sentiments.
Not in agreement was what IF said. I have further mentioned that IF uniform in this clip is inappropriately donned and the language used within the scene is inappropriate and unparliamentary. This, IF clearly says, does not conform to the behavioral norm of those in defense forces. So, the related scene need to be withdrawn and then only the film should be released. Let me tell all the viewers, then in worst of the distresses shown within this film also, actually Indian Air Force officer will never ever wear the uniform in such inappropriate manner and will not behave the way the actor is shown behaving while donning the uniform. Naam, that is name, reputation of your country and name and reputation of your force. Namak, that is the fidelity to the salt you have partaken, and Nishan, that is insignia or flag, are the three very important things, and you can call them ethos of Naam, Namak and Nishan. It is almost an honor code for the army, and that drives the officers and men alike to join the forces. For all the defense forces, that is Army, Navy, Air Force, it is pride in uniform. That is the honor code. Uniform which does have the medals, a symbol of gallantry, and other badges and accessories like para-wing, flying wing, which are a constant reminder for the officer for the struggle, the efforts they have faced to achieve those. The rank badges, of course, symbolizes the authority. So, overall, the uniform is respected. Even after retirement, the officer respects their uniform in the entire lifetime. Now, uniform, why it is considered so important? Let's see a few aspects of it. The organizational demand is that the workforce should look more same, thus look united and remain united. They also serve the organization, especially defense forces, in this manner better. Uniform, mind you, is considered as a perk in the defense forces. It is an honor and a kind of perk to wear the uniform. These actors will not realize the real sentiment behind wearing of the uniform. There is definitely a sense of belonging. The workforce wears the same clothes to the workplace only, mind you, not on the streets or clubs or for fights with the bad people, as shown in the movie. A feeling of equality is always there when one dons a uniform. Everybody is on the same platform, whether rich, poor, and it inculcates a feeling of equality and a pride amongst those wearing it. Hence, uniform is very, very important aspect of defense forces. Defense forces look into the mutual growth of their colleague, and the uniform keeps them together as one entity. So, inappropriate representation or wearing just cannot be tolerated. Do not wear the uniform if you are a civilian. Doing so may be a misdemeanor. However, there are certain rules in place in which similar or a replica of uniform can be without being prohibited. That is, how you should not wear a uniform or what replicas you should not be wearing is clearly indicated there. This includes how to wear the uniform, even wearing of distinctive pieces of military uniform such as beret, that is the cap, the jacket, the insignia is also clearly mentioned. It is not only illegal, but it cannot be worn as a fashion statement. That is why I am speaking on this subject today. Knowing all this, the film industry is still keen to have the defense uniform. Wearing this uniform and not depicting in a correct manner is where the objection lies. Indian Air Force and all services definitely take pride in uniform and do not, I repeat, do not wear it other than the working place. Definitely, it is never ever worn while roaming on streets, being in clubs, fighting with bad elements and wearing some other accessories which are not part of uniform. In this movie, while donning the Indian Air Force uniform, Anil Kapoor is shown wearing a Christmas cap, red in color. How funny it looks, you can imagine. I would have been very, very happy to show you a video clip of the trailer in which all these scenes have been shown, but due to copyright issues, I am not able to show it. You can definitely have a look at the trailer and you will realize how serious the matter is. How many of you, I like to ask, have seen any service personnel involved in such act as shown in the movie while wearing a uniform? I am sure, rather very confident that seeing a Indian Air Force officer in uniform on streets also is very, very rare, and whenever they do it, it is done in a dignified manner. So then what was the need of this movie to show Anil Kapoor doing all such funny and stupid things while donning the most prestigious and respected Indian Air Force uniform? Such acts while donning a uniform is not correct. Hence, we can clearly say that it is an inappropriate portrayal of defense forces for nothing but sensationalizing to earn more money, fill your own pockets. Anil Kapoor in his apology says that a lot of people have got offended because of the use of unparliamentary language being in a uniform. He says, I apologize. But to give the reason why he did so, he says that he is acting as an Indian Air Force officer in this movie, so he had to be in uniform, and he further gives on to give a reason that to be the scene to be realistic, he is wearing the uniform inappropriately and using unparliamentary language while wearing uniform. What a funny statement, isn't it? He further states that in the movie, the actor, the Indian Air Force officer shown, is in very angry and he is in rage because he is an emotionally distraught father in the quest to find his daughter who has been kidnapped. So, please tell me, do you require to wear a Christmas cap, red colored, on a blue uniform to show the realistic appeal for this movie? Definitely not. So, I will like to say that it is a lie. It is totally a lie, and nothing in this film is realistic, especially it didn't require wearing a uniform to show the realism. In worse situation, worse than what has been shown in this movie, no IAF officer, I repeat, even no IAF officer will go and stoop down to such low levels and wear the uniform so inappropriately and use unparliamentary language in public. An Indian Air Force officer, when in uniform, will always give the topmost priority for the respect of the uniform. and that is why I object to the very scenes in this movie. The apology definitely is not enough, as this has been done intentionally. The uniform has been worn inappropriately to create a sensation. And if the character has to do such stupid things, then he could have been shown an Indian Air Force officer, but while being in streets and clubs, moving around, dancing in the streets, he could have worn civil clothes or casuals. But Bollywood doesn't learn its lessons. Using uniform as a sensation and sell the movie was their aim, and that is why they have done what they have done. Money earning is the major agenda of these people, and it can be clearly seen the way the uniform has been used. There is definitely, I feel, definitely a need of introspection by the film fraternity, the entire Bollywood. Using defense forces for sensation and then rendering an apology after enough has been earned is an old trick. The movie has not been released yet, so let all the derogatory scenes as appealed by the Indian Air Force, which are in the uniform, Indian Air Force uniform, need to be removed. The derogatory scenes should not be there in the main movie is what my main aim to release this video. Let the IF officer's character be as it is. However, when he moves out in public areas in search of his daughter, then he should not be dressed in uniform. Such depiction does not show Bollywood in good light. There are many people, and few of them are even service officers, who say that Indian Air Force culture, the ethics and the practices it follows are very old and they are very firm and permanent. So, depiction of Air Force in Bollywood movies like the one we are talking about, that is AK versus AK, should not bother the Indian Air Force. I definitely do not agree with this. This stance itself needs to be changed, and we need to oppose the incorrect portrayal of defense forces, whether it is a movie or any other thing. Let's not allow the Bollywood to sensationalize all such defense forces characters which they show in their movies. That is why I say we definitely need to bring up this point, and IF, that is the Indian Air Force, need to not allow the movie makers to release the film till the scenes are deleted. I am of the opinion that the youths of India today look up to the defense forces for many traits like honesty, integrity, discipline, determination, courage, conviction, and uniform is part of all this. So, the movie makers should not be allowed to depict it in such a derogatory manner. I rest my case with this. I have made this video to make people understand how Bollywood is stooping low just to fill up their pockets. If you have liked my video, please subscribe my channel Shankhnaad. Please give likes as well as comments if any.